people of this country work hard to meet their responsibilities. The question tonight is whether we'll meet ours. The question is whether, in the face of an ongoing national crisis, we can stop the political circus and actually do something to help the economy. Those of us here tonight can't solve all our nation's woes. Ultimately, our recovery will be driven not by Washington, but by our businesses and our workers. But we can help. We can make a difference. There are steps we can take right now to improve people's lives. I am sending this Congress a plan that you should pass right away. It's called the American Jobs Act. There should be nothing controversial about this piece of legislation. Everything in here is the kind of proposal that's been supported by both Democrats and Republicans, including many who sit here tonight. And everything in this bill will be paid for. Everything. The purpose of the American Jobs Act is simple: to put more people back to work and more money in the pockets of those who are working. It will create more jobs for construction workers, more jobs for teachers, more jobs for veterans, and more jobs for long-term unemployed. It will provide a tax break for companies who hire new workers, and it will cut payroll taxes in half for every working American and every small business. It will provide a jolt to an economy that is stalled and give companies confidence that if they invest and if they hire, there will be customers for their products and services. You should pass this jobs plan right away. It's a balanced plan that would reduce the deficit by making additional spending cuts, by making modest adjustments to health care programs like Medicare and Medicaid, and by reforming our tax code in a way that asks the wealthiest Americans and biggest corporations to pay their fair share. Regardless of the arguments we've had in the past, regardless of the arguments we will have in the future, this plan is the right thing to do right now. You should pass it, and I intend to take that message to every corner of this country. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
Joe Biden. I like Joe Biden. You know, I must say, Obama, got to give him 100% for that speech last night, and this is not with any sarcasm. Remember, the reason that I'm doing these recordings, the reason why I'm giving out all this information and intelligence and clarifying facts and statements by people in the CIA and the FBI and others, other media sources that are confirmed on record. The reason I'm doing this is to get the change we need. The change Obama was elected for. Now, my analysis of it is this. Clearly, he put all the Goldman Sachs people in place. Clearly, he continued Bush's rendition and Bush's torture policies. Clearly, he continued all of the Bush policies. Now, as we get into the political season, he gave the greatest speech I've heard a politician give in years. I should say a president, because I've heard better speeches from Ron Paul. Well, because Ron Paul would get things done. Now, up to now, Obama really hasn't gotten very much done. In fact, except for collectivizing and putting the federal power grab, the Agenda 21 protocol into place, I don't see very much else. Now, I voted for Obama, so you can't call me a critic of him because I didn't vote for him. But I woke up to the establishment control. Now, if he's pulling a Kennedy or a McKinley or a Garfield or, of course, a Lincoln, you know, then we're going to have a problem. And he's probably going to meet that same fate. because that's what happens when you go against the bankster elite. Now, I wish and I pray, because I'm tired of doing this, really am. Because until we get the change we need, and be the change we wish to see in the world, and have all of the jobs bill, the American Jobs Act really be true, I only can pray. There's some skepticism, because President Obama is pitching his $447 billion job program of tax cuts and new spending. The spending in areas, again, we don't really have a plan yet, but apparently in infrastructure and all of this. Now, if all of this had been done, this type of spending, which is only in this case $447 billion, in 2008, what do you think would have happened? Why didn't this happen? That's the question America needs to really ask. Why didn't we do this then? Because the gun was to our head by the banksters that he put on his administration, and then again into this federal power grab and putting people like Monsanto's Michael R. Taylor as head of the FDA, and John P. Holdren, the science czar, and Cass Sunstein. I mean, these eco-fascists, these people are really dangerous. I just want freedom and liberty. I don't want people to tell me that I have to submit. I'm going down to ground zero on 9/11, and all of a sudden there's a terrorist threat. All of a sudden they're going to be checking cars and checking through everything, and then nothing will happen. And then there'll be another terrorist threat, and again the whole country is going to be like under this guard, because that's what happened. It went out to 18,800 municipalities and police departments. The Homeland Department, the Security Department, Heil, sent a memo to protect, to put everybody on alert. They're pumping the media all summer long. They've been pumping the media with this. If you see something, say something. All this psychological warfare. And if you ask me, what's going to happen is nothing is going to happen on 9/11. Okay? There'll be another one of these threats. Nothing will happen. Then something will happen. And after that happens, it'll justify all of this police state, walking down the street seeing guys with AR-15s in full riot gear, a commonplace occurrence. That's where it's heading. That's what I'm afraid of. That's why I'm making these tapes, these recordings. Because this is what I think is coming down the pike, and I am not alone in my thinking. In fact, from my research, it's clearly obvious that there's only one way to really accomplish what they want to do. And that is to completely destroy the economy of the United States. So by Obama claiming to, be putting money into infrastructure and all the things that I heard him say the other night, which I think were brilliant, are totally against that. I mean, what did he wake up? You know what I'm saying? I take it with skepticism, but of course, it's not about winning, it's not about losing, it's not about Republicans and Democrats, it's not about elections. This is about our lives, this is about our future, and the type of things. I mean, he was talking about mercury. I mean, mercury in children. Mercury, which means vaccines. So he was talking about things that I was very astounded. And I was almost to the point where it's got to be something's just not right. Didn't sound right to me, honestly. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and give Congress the benefit of the doubt, because I'll be honest, since we've already bankrupted so many things, at least we could try to get the infrastructure built that is crumbling. I mean, do we have to have bridges collapse and people die, and poor roads and all of these things that have needed attention for decades? Did we really get away from the establishment? Is it possible that he could actually do this? History will tell. Mr. Obama, pardon the euphemism, but the ball is in your court.